LeBron James, the Looney Tunes, WB, and all of its IP, apparently, are coming together for this sequel to the original Space Jam. This one's called Space Jam: A New Legacy. I'll let you know if this one was worth it right after this. Hey everyone, it's the Outlaw John Rocha back with a review for you here on the Outlaw Nation channel. Not altogether too excited to be talking about this film, if I can be straight up honest with you all. You know I always keep it 100. This may be the first kind of negative review I do here on the Outlaw Nation channel. It's for Space Jam: A New Legacy. And before we get into it, I want to remind you all to please subscribe to the channel down below. If you're enjoying the content we're doing, all the new reactions and reviews, all the live shows we got going on, everything we're doing with the Geek Buddies, all of that. Reminder to please subscribe down below and hit that bell button. The bell button lets you know when we've got new content dropping here on the channel. Come over to the Patreon as well, patreon.com/John Rocha. See all the new shows and all the ways you can be an interactive part of the Outlaw Nation. And follow me on Twitch, the Outlaw Nation on Twitch, to see all the watch-alongs and the play-alongs I do there on Twitch now. All right. Let's get into this thing. This one comes to us from director Malcolm D. Lee, and a slew of writers, like 6 to 7 writers, I think it is, wrote this thing. And you couldn't tell by the final product, or maybe you could, because overall, this film feels like a bit of a jumbled mess. There seems to be a really strong intention behind the making of this movie, and that is a father and son are at odds with each other. The father's being too strict. The son wants to do something else with his life. The father is trying to teach him lessons about life, but he's being a bit too aggressive in teaching those lessons. The son breaks away, gets manipulated or influenced by an outside entity against his father, and then has to play his father in a basketball game. And of course, his father being LeBron James. And this is where I start to get a little bit curious or worrisome about this movie, because LeBron James is a very socially aware, very out there person who's talking about mental health issues, talking about, you know, the proper way to function in society. Even the opening montage shows us all the success LeBron has accomplished in his life, but also touches upon some of the comments he's made, especially when he was going up against Laura Ingraham, who told him to just shut up and dribble, and he pushed back on that. So you're seeing the impression of a very nice guy, a very accomplished guy who's driven, but also understands the importance of the big issues in the world. So to have him portrayed as this kind of a-hole father who doesn't want to listen to his son, who's constantly berating his son for not giving 100% effort every time he steps on the court, it just seems like an odd character choice to go with someone like LeBron. But he does his best with it. Is he better than Michael Jordan? In my opinion, no. I've seen the separation online. Some people liked LeBron over Michael Jordan here. Some people prefer, like me, Michael Jordan over LeBron. You know, he does his best to try to convey this father who's a little bit of a hard ass, and he's trying to kind of tough love his son into embracing basketball over what his son wants to do, which is to explore more of the computer side of things, technical side of things, be involved more in that space. He's even created his own basketball video game to show what he can do. And his son is played here by Cedric Joe, who plays Dom. That's the name of the character of his son. Sonequa Martin Green is in this as well, playing his wife, Kamaya James. But, you know, she doesn't do much. And it's kind of odd for an actress who is like the lead of Star Trek Discovery, who was a very standout part of The Walking Dead when she was on it, to have her kind of pushed to the side in this thing. And basically, except for a couple of issues with LeBron and how he's treating Dom, she gets pushed to the side and essentially becomes a cheerleader for a majority of the movie. So you get a little confused about why this is happening. So, and the person who's the outside influence here, that's Don Cheadle. He plays Al G. Rhythm. Do you get it? Al G. Rhythm. Look, Don does the best he can. He's an incredible actor. Just got now nominated for an Emmy, controversially, but he does the best he can with what little he's given in this movie. And I got no complaints about what Don Cheadle does. As the movie goes along, we find out that Al G. Rhythm has like jettisoned pretty much all the Looney Tunes, tricked them all to go out of the Looney Tune land. And when LeBron gets turned into the animated LeBron, him and Bugs have to come together and figure out how they're going to field a team to be able to play against Don Cheadle's team, the Goon Squad that he's put together, led by Dom. This feels very much like Hook. If you're starting to think of Hook, it's very much like Hook, right? It's a father, Robin Williams in Hook, who has forgotten what it's like to be a child, forgotten what it's like to have fun or to be Peter Pan, and his son goes off with Captain Hook because Captain Hook offers him more fun, more of an exploration of being rebellious and breaking the rules and what have you. But in the end, the son realizes that path leads to darkness. It doesn't lead to a positive end, and comes back to his father, but only after his father has discovered what fun means. And certainly that's the journey or rediscovered what fun means. And certainly that's the journey that LeBron is on in this movie. I do like the animation. I had no qualms with the look of the film. The animation is fine. I think Bugs Bunny, I think all the voiceover work is fantastic throughout the movie, except for one character. And I know they got rid of Pepe Le Pew, and you can feel one way or another about that. I'm not talking about that, but I am talking about Speedy Gonzalez. I, as a Latino, had a really tough time hearing that voice again, seeing that stuff again. I just don't think there's a place for it anymore. And I know the actor Gabriel Iglesias. I know Fluffy. He's a very funny comedian. Totally respect the hell out of him. He said he did want to change the voice. In interviews, he said that WB gave him the option to change the voice. What about the voice? And he didn't take that opportunity to change the voice. Now, I get it. He's a comedian. It's funny. It's played for laughs. You know, he says, in my house, there are people he said something like, in my house, come to my house, you'll hear people who sound like that. I get it. But you've got to understand there's a bigger platform here. There's a bigger purpose that you could have in this moment when you're being offered the chance to change a stereotypical voice of a character. Now, some of you be saying, well, it's been that way for years. Yes, but who voiced it? It was Mel Blanc. It was a white man. And who told him how to voice it, or who approved the voicing? Other white men who were in power at the time for that character. So to me, this was the opportunity. Yes, that's what it was back then, but now here's an opportunity for you as a Latino, as a Hispanic, to step forward and change that perception of Speedy Gonzalez instead of playing him for jokes and for laughs and the Spanglish that gets involved. So really, and he had nothing to do with the game, hardly anything to do with the game. It was Granny, it was Wile E. Coyote, it was Roadrunner, it was Lola Bunny, it was Bugs, it was Daffy who was coaching, it was Porky Pig, so all these other people get these moments to shine. Another troublesome part of this is Porky Pig rapping. What is that all about? Woof, that was ridiculous. Having LeBron cheering him on, having Laurel Howery cheer him on, that was a little rough for me overall. But I think I know they're coming from I don't think there's any malice in this movie. Obviously, I think they're coming from a more of a playful place. Maybe some of you maybe listen to a review going, why don't you find your fun in this movie? But I wanted to enjoy this movie. I wanted to have fun with this movie. And to be fair and to be honest about the movie, there are the bones or the structure of an actually damn good movie in here. But they just, maybe some more rewrites, some more drafts. I was talking to my fellow geek buddy, Michael Vogel, who is an animation executive, and he said just a few more rewrites, a few more drafts of the script, maybe would have honed it down a little bit more, would have got to what they were going for, would have made it a little more of a connectable story. And in the end, it isn't, for me at least. And I enjoyed the efforts of everybody involved, as I said. Pretty much all the voiceover works, but there was just some cringe-worthy scenes. I mean, Granny doing the Matrix thing, that was a little strange for me as well. But overall, I think it picks up once the basketball game starts. That's probably, if you're going to enjoy the movie, that's where you enjoy the movie. Everything leading up to the basketball game is tedious and frustrating, and it's some bad jokes being thrown around overall. And then you get to visit all the IP. I think that's another part of this film that's a little irritating, is the way that this essentially is a 2 hours. Yes, you heard me right. This movie is 2 hours for some reason. A 2-hour commercial for WB and all its IP. Harry Potter, Batman, The Matrix, Casablanca, what have you. All is touched upon. Game of Thrones. All of it is touched upon here, and it does get overwhelming, and it does get ridiculous to our eyes. But maybe to kids' eyes, it's not. You know, I had one of my followers texted me that his 10-year-old son can't stop talking about it and loved it. So maybe it's not for our demographic, but I have to look at this and analyze it as a critic, as a reviewer, honestly. And I just found this to be a massive wasted opportunity, even though its heart is good, which is to show how a father and son can come together once the father tries to understand or opens the door to trying to understand his son, trying to see where his son is coming from, trying to accept his son for who he is. These are the things that I think about the movie overall. I'd say okay effort. I say the intentions were probably damn good, but the execution overall, not a positive thing. And it's annoying. It's frustrating at times. But, you know, if you look hard enough, you can see the bones of what they were going for. And as it gets further along, you really understand what could have been here. You know, what could have come out. Because the thing is, it took itself too seriously as well. The original Space Jam doesn't. You know, Jordan was there selling sneakers. That's what it was all about. So I imagine LeBron was the drive behind this to deliver a more powerful message to fathers and sons, to the community of people who are his fans. I think there was a powerful message behind what he was trying to do. Just the execution didn't 100% get there. Okay, so at the end of the day, I give this thing 2 cowboy hats. There is some redeemable stuff about it, but overall just really falls flat as a movie. I prefer the original Space Jam because, once again, it didn't take itself seriously. This does, and if you take yourself seriously, you're judged on a different spectrum than you are if you're a film that's just having fun trying to sell sneakers. So there's charm in Space Jam, the original Space Jam, that is missing here, and I wish there was a little more charm here overall. So, you know, and some changes that could have been made that would have brought that out. All right, well, let me know what you thought of the movie down in the comments section below. Remember to hit a like on this video as well. Share it on your social media. The more you share it, the more people will come aboard the Outlaw Nation. And remember to subscribe to the channel down below. Please subscribe to the channel down below. Make sure you hit that bell button as well, so you see when we're dropping all the new content here on the channel. Remember to also join the Patreon. Come aboard the Patreon train, patreon.com/John Rocha. Also follow me on Twitch at The Outlaw Nation, all one word there, lowercase, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch. Come and hang out with me as I do watch-alongs, as I do play-alongs on all the video games I have here in my place. All right, much love to you all. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Make sure you let me know what you thought of the video online as well, at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll talk to you next time. Another brand new review here from The Outlaw Nation. Be well.